Why do so many Kenyans prefer to build their dream homes instead of buying or even renting? Here are 5 things to note. Number 1 is cost. Building a house in Kenya is expensive on its own. Now, if you're having to buy it, then that includes the cost of building the house itself and a markup introduced by the person who built the house or due to inflation. For example, if a house was built a while ago, the prices are always increasing. So if you are buying it 10 years later, the cost may be quite high. Number 2 is the flexibility in design as well as in occupation. When you are building your own house, you have a lot of freedom to decide the exact design you want. You can make custom adjustments. You can also decide to move in even before the house is fully complete. For example, you can move in before you have put the tiles or before you have put the fancy doors that you want. You can move in before you have put the fancy windows you want, and all that, which is largely related to cost because of the high cost of construction. Many people will want to build their own house and then use basic furnishings as they are starting out and then upgrade later. Number 3 is future needs. For some Kenyans, they want to live the possibility of expanding their families. They want to enjoy greater freedom in terms of their future needs. So for example, someone may want to have a family 5 years from now, and while they can buy a 1-bedroom, they would rather build a 3-bedroom because they know they will need it in the coming years. And other issues related to the future needs includes, for example, retirement. Someone may want to buy a house, but then they think it's not ideal for their retirement planning, and then they would want to build it because then they have greater freedom on where they will retire. Other future needs includes, sometimes it may make sense to rent in the short term, but then the future needs could be that by the time they are retired, they know inflation will have increased the cost of rent, and some Kenyans are afraid of having that rental commitment, so they would rather have the house because they anticipate they will have certain needs that will then require them not to pay rent. Number 4 is privacy, and this is sometimes because the options for renting or buying may be limited to apartments, which may have privacy concerns. And in other cases, some people will opt to build the house because they have greater freedom in terms of the design. You can build a greater perimeter wall. You can build your house in a controlled residential area to protect and enhance your privacy. You can also make other custom designs to your house to increase the privacy, which may not be available when you are renting or when you are buying a house. Number 5 is location. There are many Kenyans who will decide to build a house because of the location consideration. For example, someone has land up country and they will decide to build that house there instead of buying land, or they may have inherited a piece of land near Nairobi and they will opt to do that. Other times it could be that the budget, when you are building, the budget is flexible. You can look for land away in the satellite towns and wait for those areas to grow, as most Kenyans have done in the past. Remember, when you are deciding whether to buy, rent or build, there is no right or wrong answer because it's your money. The most important thing is to consider your desires, your considerations, as well as your financial capacity. Now, money254.co.ke has written more in detail of what you should consider when you are making a decision on whether to buy, build or rent. Click on the link provided to learn more.